Hi, I'm Andrew Armstrong and welcome to the back office teardown lab. I thought I'd show you these. These are my prized grape shears. I think that's the technical term. And as you can see, mine are flanged. And the reason they're flanged is so that when you snip the little delicate grapes off, this bit and this bit squeeze together against the flange. That's the flange there. See, it doesn't hurt that bit, but that would hurt in there, of course. And that holds the grapes, so you can gently take them away and pluck at them later. Now, you can see, though, it's looking a little bit worse for wear. And that's because I believe it's made of silver. And we can test that. I've got some rare earth magnets right here. And rare earth magnets don't stick to silver. And you can see they're certainly not sticking. And to prove they are magnets and how tenacious they are, if you've got anything that's like metal, they stick really, really quite difficult. And you can see for that how tight that was. So these scissors aren't silver, but these shears definitely are. So I read something that sounds like an old wives' tale, to be honest with you. So we're going to do a little experiment to sort of clean this up. And it's going to involve the use of my sort of trangia, because I need a heat source for this, and this is the most dangerous heat source I could have in the back office, because of course it's solid fuel stove made for outdoors, and it needs to sit on a piece of something fireproof, so I'm going to sort that out in a minute. But basically the idea is, if you bring to the boil certain materials, and those certain materials are baking soda, they say, and I presume that's the same as baking powder, and a ball of tin foil, aluminium tin foil, and basically this is an aluminium pot anyway, like that, and you pour some of that in, and that should clean it. So I'm going to go prepare this experiment, and we'll see if this is restored to its former luster. Got myself a little bit of jelly here, just to have a little swig of that. Yeah, that's some good jello. Or jello if you're in the US. Let's just light up our burner. I'll probably not have this immediately sort of fuely directly under the camera. Someone put the lid on hot. Don't do that. Bad, Andrew. Bad. Ruin the seal. Ruin the seal. Don't do that. So I'm just going to take that there. If you haven't seen these, they're kind of a bit scary. And sometimes the fuel seems to lose its gumption, so you need to add a little bit more extra spirit there. There's your Rod Spirit. Do you remember him? Rod Spirit. Can't remember the songs he did though. Sailing. There we go. You can hardly see the flame. Sometimes you get burnt because really there's a flame there and you can't see it. It burns with an invisible flame. But it is there, I can assure you. Let's put the light on the outside of that. So we're going to put the windshield on. And again, this is off to the side. And we'll pop our little pot of water on there. I don't advise you do this indoors because one, it stinks out everywhere of high heaven because of all the fumes, and two, it's not supposed to be used indoors. Right, so while that's doing that, I'm going to add some baking soda, and I think it said 1 tablespoon, 1 teaspoon, whatever. We're just going to add, whoa, that amount, carefully. That's really done a number, that has. And it says a piece of tin foil. I don't know how much is a piece of tin foil, so I'm going to just add, I don't know, like a golf ball shredded up bit. Science, this is science. It looks like I'm making a right bloody mess. I'm going to stir it with this because this is going to be dunked in it anyway. Let's get that. Let's get some motion in the lotion. It's definitely looking like a big foamy bath. I think I can just about pull it a little bit under the camera without totally ruining it. I was just sort of hoping now that we've just been dumping the tip in here that it's going to be like a really amazing shine on it. But yeah, I suppose it has actually got a bit of a shine. Yeah, I'm going to eat my words. So let's say this is the before. Ignore that bit because maybe that bit's a bit better than the previous before, but that's the before. Okay, We might use some science or some special videography to sort of do an effect, but that's the before. So I'm just going to swish this around. It's definitely got a sort of reactive quality about it, hasn't it? I'm going to put this in handle first. Oh, not quite all the way in, but we could see before how tarnished the handle was, so it would be interesting now we can get sort of a half a handle's worth. And maybe while that's sort of doing its thing, I'm just going to have a little bit more jelly, because of course you need to keep your energy up when you're doing this process, and jelly is the only food, wibble wobble, designed to sustain you through deep silver processing. Okay. That's it. Right. Let's give this a wipe, shall we? Before it gets too hot to handle. It's hard to tell if that's any better or not, to be honest with you. I mean, it's shinier, but it doesn't look silverier, does it? It looks shinier, but maybe not silverier. I don't know. I don't rightly know. Let's pop that in there. Maybe we'll add a bit more stuff, shall we? It's got the tin foil in it, the aluminium foil. Maybe it just needs a bit more of the old baking soda. A bit of the old Arm & Hammer. Of course, I'm assuming that the baking soda they mean is the same stuff that we use for cooking, because I think in the US you get loads of baking soda for everything, don't you? Might be their equivalent of Mr. Muscle. Right, kind of left myself in a bad scenario with this, because I can't quite handle it. So I've recently found out that these things can be worth actually quite... Whoa! Actually, there is something quite impressive going on here. Yeah, this does actually work. I don't know, I'll show you now. Let's just take this out briefly. I'll just give it a quick wipe. I don't want to rub it, I just rub it too much, but I want to show you. Look at the bit where we actually had that in first and gave it a quick wipe, but it's got really shiny, hasn't it? Look, that's looking way... Whoa! Okay, we're all fogging up. Let's take this heat off, shall we? Whoa! There we go. That's out now. That's out. I think we're good and hot there. We got enough heat. So maybe what I need to do is just give it a quick rub down, just to get off any sort of surface groz that's on there. Oh, look at that. It is actually shining up crazy good. That's not bad at all. So I don't know what's going on. What's the chemistry here with the old tin foil, unless that's just a kind of a fake thing. You know, maybe the tin foil doesn't do anything. Use my jelly spoon to sort of ladle it over it. Look, ladle it. It smells... doesn't smell unpleasant, which is weird. You'd expect it to smell unpleasant, but then you put baking soda, don't you, into all your biscuits and stuff. Wow, look at it. Look at the end there. Oh, you can't. Bathe, my beauty. Bathe. Bathe. Enjoy your tin foil and baking soda bath. Enjoy it while it lasts. I think I need a bit more room here, so I'm going to try to excavate. That isn't quite the right word, but that's what we'll do. Ow. See if we can just get the whole thing in here. There we go. Now we've got some full coverage. Ow, that's bloody hot, that is. Right. I guess it's been about 10 minutes or so, maybe less. Yes, the water's bearable to touch, and that does actually look really good. That's bloody impressive, actually. I'm startled. It's not perfect. I mean, you could still maybe get some Silvo or whatever and just give it a little buffing to really polish out the sort of dints, but that's damn shiny, and considering how low effort it is to get in there, you could put, pile all of your sort of cutlery in that juice, couldn't you? And that's going to work really well. I don't really know if there's a science behind it, if the tin foil does anything special, or if it's just agitating it. I mean, is the tin foil acting like a sort of brush? I mean, I wasn't really scraping it, but is the tin foil doing that? But I'd kind of be worried to do that, because maybe the tinfoil would wear it out, but I'm just going to test a bit here to see. I mean, the tinfoil doesn't seem to be doing. I don't know. Is it shinier? Is it buffing it? Is it getting more shiny even? It's hard to tell at this point. It's pretty white. It just looks like white metal. In terms of my hands, it's not stinging. It doesn't feel caustic or super abrasive or anything like that. I mean, that just seems to do the trick. Let's dry that off there. I mean, it might be one of those things that you've got to dry nicely and with a sort of plain white cloth, you know, polish off the sort of residue, because obviously it's got a lot of baking soda in there. Baking soda, not solder. And those salts are going to do something. They're going to dry up. But yeah, that's bloody good. Maybe the miracle of before and after technology, we can see them side by side. But there you go, restored grape shears, ready for another season of shearing. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Please like, share, subscribe and comment down below and let me know how you keep your grape shears in tip-top condition for grape eating season. As ever, thank you for watching. Just gonna try a little test before signing off. We've got this bit of brass, I guess. Sugar, which is the top of the Trangia stove. I just wanted to see, because it's filthy, if this would do anything with that, but I'm not. Might need to leave it in to soak, of course. Yeah, look, there is a sort of filthiness coming off it in the liquid. I mean, it could be just soot. There might be soot. I have to admit, it was a bit sooty. But nah, I'm not. It doesn't seem to be buffing this off to an amazing shine. So maybe there really is some sort of chemistry going on with the particular materials. But, I don't know. Your mileage may vary.